It's Joseph P. Firmage.
I am just packing up from my office here in Salt Lake City, Utah, and heading off to DC with a sense of great confidence and pride, and indeed a bit of awe and wonder about the times ahead. I will be in touch with you as appropriate. Each of you who received this message know that you're responsible for certain things, as am I, for everyone's things. And I appreciate every single one of you, especially my dear stepmother, Virginia. Yes, I am. We're heading out now. Say hi.
Hi.
And so I'm just gathering a few belongings here that are appropriate for this voyage. I will be handling all things finance that matter for each and every one of you, and hopefully for myself too. So thank you all, and I think we've got everything ready and set to go. I will be in touch as needed. Thank you for your robust support. I needed it and will need it. Thank you.
My fellow citizens, my name is Joseph P. Firmage, candidate for President of the United States for 2024. My colleagues and friends, we are witness to a remarkable moment in humanity's economic affairs. Across the globe, we see many symptoms of a crisis of confidence in the future of our economy. And we are daily witnesses now to basically talking heads and indeed leaders of the global economy are seemingly talking down the potential of not only our national economy's robustness and strength and resilience, but also the global economic situation is obviously facing an overcast situation by saber-rattling of nuclear-tipped nations for no good reason. These are very serious affairs, and they require very muscular strength in DC at both a governing level, but also at a scientific and technical level of understanding what it is that we're grappling with and why. Approximately a quarter century ago, when I was contemplating the future, my future, as it intersects these types of affairs for the future of my life back then, I assessed that change was in order, a robust change that had to start from within. As a father of the internet economy's first generation, one of many, of course, I had unique insight and privilege at that table into the fundamentals that are driving the current state of global technologically driven economic affairs. The robotic economy has emerged, and the application economy, you know, the apps that you use to get an Uber, Lyft, with Cash App for some grub, is with us now. The app economy is here, and with that and its robotic extensions in the forms that have been exemplified, for example, by the work of Elon Musk with Tesla, and I mean countless tens of thousands of new application-driven economic instruments and legal persons, corporations, are among us, and we use them every day and we power them. So I asked myself back then, what would happen if we were to introduce technologies so efficient, like the remarkable announcement from the Department of Energy, the prospects of over unity electricity generation or energy generation, more output than in. That is an example of an extraordinary event in human affairs that can fundamentally re-architect the modern economy. And so the creation of a monetary correlate to infinitely leverageable technologies, infinitely scalable technologies, such as over unity energy generation, and also its corollary, in propulsion, propellantless propulsion, and over unity electricity current generation are almost literally two sides of the same coin. Indeed, the E pluribus unum coin, or M1 currency, anyone. That is the motto of our nation, and it is imprinted on every bill in your pocket and on every coin. That motto is the name I adopted for the instrument for economic development that I believe can last for a new millennium and power a new renaissance for humanity as we again go from one world to many worlds, to finance and fund and explore and colonize, as we rebuild the infrastructure of our sacred blue-green earth. And we will do so in the time frame we have to. I assure you of that. A Firmage administration will lead that way, and I entrust this message to you today as a Christmas gift. And you'll understand more about what I mean by that as I land in DC. But let's just say a general income from technology for life is about to start. And that's what I'm bringing with me as a blueprint to Washington, D.C.
Firmage for president. My parents were born in Provo, Utah, just south of Salt Lake. They are American heroes who did so much for our nation, yet to be known. My father earned his JD from Chicago and became a White House Fellow under Lyndon Johnson, an advisor to the Vice President. And after I was born in 1970, he sought a congressional seat from Salt Lake City, Utah, to represent this great state, from which I'm running to be President of the United States and to carry on the great tradition of the Firmage family of political engagement. My stepmother, Virginia Menlove, was his life partner for 20 years,
and I look forward to seeing
and my best friend and advisor,
I think we can both say that.
and a first lady to me
To DC.
and
We're
to a
excited
nation
to
in
take
need of
the
one.
weekend. My friends, I wanted to convey to you the uniqueness of this process from my perspective. There are three uniquenesses that represent what we are proceeding to complete after 2 years of concluding 25 years of very hard-earned merit and results. This is a unique set of people who are involved in this IPSO that involve the best of the public sector that work currently for the U.S. government or our former officials associated therewith at the highest levels, and I am engaging the current administration led by the Honorable Joseph R. Biden Jr. As President of the United States now, and the Democratic Party, which he leads as obviously party leader during his tenure. The people that I have involved in this endeavor include my employees and contractors for Science and Events Alliance, and the scientific and financial advisors there too, and also my Science Invents Alliance Renaissance network that's largely represented and exemplified by over 9,500 contains my career legacy, looking backward and looking forward as well. And I'm so looking forward to engaging as the next steps of this campaign for the White House continues. So that's point one. Relationships, unique relationships that matter. Second, it's a unique endeavor to initiate a public service offering. This IPSO, as I've termed it, is a first in the sense that government money is joining forces with private sector money at scale not seen before, and that conjunction of democratically approved budget dollars conjoined with private sector capital, strictly said, has not been done before at this kind of scale. That includes, for the public sector, approval by the House Ways and Means Committee of the United States Congress, the Senate Finance Committee of the United States Congress, and signed off by the President of the United States, Joseph Biden. Those are facts. And in the private sector side, it requires proper negotiations and conclusions of the monetary benefits of engagement in this united capitalization event. And third, the uniqueness of this moment. We are witness to events on the world stage, the likes of which I trust none of us would like to see continue, let alone be repeated. In the Middle East, we face a titanic clash of civilizations in reality. That's what the combat and conflict in the Middle East is actually all about. This titanic clash of civilizations has everything to do with the mission that I bring. Should I lead in the White House for 2 terms? No doubt. Following that, I will be continuing to exert a strong influence on the future trajectory of our society and on the planet. That is a role of service that I have long aspired to provide, and I believe that the time is right to do so. With those 3 things, the uniqueness of the people involved, the uniqueness of the process and the proceeding here, and the uniqueness of the moment at hand. With this perspective in mind, I ask you, each of you who receive this message, to set aside petty differences, set aside rounding errors of capitalization issues, set aside political divergences for this moment in time, because I think it is highly meritorious for the sake of our society, for the sake of our biosphere, for the sake of the planet, but most personally, for the sake of yourself and your family and your friends and your colleagues, for the sake of you. And of course, last of all, for the sake of me and my trajectory here. I thank you for your support. Now let's get this endeavor off to the most extraordinary new start that we possibly can. After all, we've all worked so hard for this moment. Let's not let the moment down. Thank you all.
Firmage for
And I will be in
president.
touch very soon.
It's Joseph E. Firmage. And I wanted to take a moment to thank you.
After at least 700 Israelis were killed in the worst attack here in decades, 11 Americans among the dead. The stunning images, Hamas attacking by land, sea, and air, dropping out of the sky on paragliders, and opening fire on a music festival.
As you can see, the matters of global significance have sharply increased in their temperature, and we have it incumbent upon us to move as swiftly as we can. I'm making a special funding request to ensure that we do not have any interruption whatsoever of my flight to DC and to engage first stop, the Pentagon, which was pre-planned for many reasons. This unanticipated, abrupt change in the affairs of the United States and the free world cannot help but impact this upcoming election cycle. And it is for that reason that I would term this election coming about to be about governance and the wisdom of the candidates who would fill those shoes in the Oval Office is the question of the hour. I humbly submit that I am that candidate who can step in and has spent an entire career working with the very forces that are being deployed to the region and supplying them with my own advanced technologies that have proven quite effective for warfare. Warfare is not something we seek. It is something that can be thrust upon us by circumstances such as the attack on the Holy Land, the land of Israel, the land that is worshipped by every single Abrahamic religious tradition. I find it stunning that we still face this kind of barbarism, but we do. And it must be dealt with, and dealt with clearly. I stand with Israel on this matter, and we shall find who and why the Hamas leaders who have perpetrated this atrocity will be forthcoming. They must. Whoever's behind these things, go to hell.
Has taken an unconfirmed number of hostages, soldiers and civilians dragged from the streets. An Israeli official calling today their 9/11. Israel's response so far has been swift, but only just beginning.
The situation in Israel is the most important matter of U.S. national security in at least a generation, in my opinion. More significant than 9/11, and substantially so. I feel the intense need to be in Washington, D.C. and consult with colleagues, former and present, and to be at the White House. And I would appreciate a rapid flight, hopefully leaving tonight. So I don't see any reason for further delay. And so please get back to me as soon as you possibly can. Thank you.
Okay, how's the family? How's the family? Virginia, have you talked to the dogs yet?
Nope,
Why?
because I couldn't. I was trying to figure out
Have you
where.
lost their language?
No.
Kids, come here and say hi. Come here. Hello. Yes, kisses, kisses, kisses. Yes, oh, yes. Kisses. Hey, kisses, girl. Oh, yeah. Hey, hey, girl, come here. Hey, girl, come here. Oh, yes, come here. Come here. Hey. Hey, you get back there. You get back there, Randy.
Randy.